All right, so I know what you're thinking. You're gonna compare a luxury sedan against a compact convertible. I mean, they're built for totally different purposes, and you're right, but hey, what the heck? Let's just compare them anyway. You see, this was brought on by my buddy Vince and I and our common interests, Autocross and the old V Sport here. And I'm gonna tell you all about it up next. This is Vince. He's a software engineer from Wisconsin, and besides being computer smart, he's actually pretty smart about cars and autocross. You see, Vince used to have a V-Sport and he autocrossed. That's how we met. Boom, instant friends, right? Well, unfortunately, he had a lot of maintenance issues and GM gave him an offer he couldn't refuse to buy his car back, so he let it go. Around that same time, he was ordering this 2019 Mazda Miata MX-5 to build and race just for autocross purposes. But now that's his only car. He actually still hasn't bought another car to replace the V-Sport because he says that on the used market, it's really hard to find a car that checks off all the boxes like the V-Sport did for the price. And I think he's right. And he doesn't really want to buy another V-Sport because, well, he had a lot of maintenance issues. I've been pretty lucky, I think. After one recent autocross event where the Miata and the Cadillac were actually running very similar times, and maybe the drivers too, Vince had a great idea. He said, hey, why don't we co-drive both cars on the same day? I mean, this isn't gonna be like a lot of hard data or anything, it's just gonna be a lot of fun. So let's just get to the cars. This is my 2015 Cadillac CTS V Sport. It weighs just under 4,000 pounds and comes from the factory with 420 horsepower. My CTS is trifecta tuned to about 500 crank horsepower. It's lowered on D3 springs, has CTS V rear sway bar, and the 19-inch Rohana wheels are wrapped in Bridgestone RE71R street and autocross use tires. Built on the tight Alpha platform, the CTS is much more capable than you'd expect and competes well against Mustangs and Camaros, but doesn't quite handle like a 1LE Camaro. The V-Sport class is in F-Street class, where national champions have won with BMW M3s, Ford Mustangs, and Chevy Camaros. Due to mods, I can't run in stock class, so I generally run the V-Sport in Cam C with modified Mustangs and Camaros. Vince's car is the 2019 Mazda MX-5 Miata GTS. It weighs just over 2,300 pounds and has 181 horsepower. His mods include JRZ RS Pro adjustable dampers, Carcep's larger front sway bar, Goodwin SS muffler, and 17x7 NK wheels wrapped in the same Bridgestone RE71R tires, although they are quite a bit narrower than the V-Sports. Vincents Miata fits into C Street with national champions driving Miatas and competition including the Subaru BRZ and Honda S2000. Of course, with Camaro-like handling and Camaro-like power, the V-Sport is more at home on a road course or track, right? I mean, there it would be leaving the Miata in the rearview mirror for sure. But autocross is usually very technical and compact, and the V-Sport doesn't really get a chance to put the power down between trying to move its 2 tons of weight from one turn to the next. The Miata, however, loves a technical course. It's got a good power to weight ratio, it's very nimble, and on an autocross course, it would generally leave the V-Sport in the dust. Here in the San Francisco Bay Area, we have 2 places where we like to autocross. A piece of asphalt tarmac at Marina Airport near Monterey, or the wide stretches of concrete runway at NASA Crow's Landing Test Facility in the farmlands of the Central Valley. Today's event is held at Crow's Landing. It's a World War II era airfield that is no longer in use, at least not for airplanes. We just use it a lot for autocross. Due to its larger real estate, higher horsepower cars actually get to shine on these autocross courses, and sometimes the Miata is at a disadvantage. So this is why we're doing the double header. You see, Crow's Landing is sort of the neutral zone for the 2 cars. It's not quite a racetrack and it's not quite a technical autocross course. So we finally get to lay down the variables of car, course, and driver and see how it goes. Here's the approximate layout of the course. From the start line, it's a hard right turn through the timing gates, a slalom, turnaround, followed by another slalom, left turn to a hard right, then some more slaloms, followed by a left turnaround, slalom again, offset slalom, hard right decreasing radius turn, left increasing radius turn with a hard left and then a hard right to the finish gate. We start the morning in the V-Sport and I do the first run and we'll alternate. Vincent is my co-pilot telling me where not to go. We each get 5 runs. For the first 3, we'll ride with each other and then we'll let each other go solo on the last 2 to save weight. So I did DNF, as in did not finish, because I missed one of the slalom cones and officially went outside the course boundaries. That disqualifies my time.
Well,
Yeah, that felt pretty fast.
but you're saying right after that first cone.
So, okay, where the thing is coming right now, you're losing about half a second right there.
Too fast?
Yeah. And that part you need to keep tighter.
After my dirty run, it's now Vincent's turn to drive. He gets reoriented with the V Sport, and I remind him how to set track mode and turn off traction control, and remind him to also put it in manual mode.
How did that feel?
A little wild and crazy. I messed up on my braking points.
I feel like you brake harder than I do.
In some respects that's good, but I was over braking and then under braking in a couple spots. I was expecting Miata brakes.
Are they better?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the weight of the car.
But power is great. We'll get there though. I'll find another 2 seconds on that probably.
For the rest of the morning, we traded off battling the course. I, of course, took out quite a few more cones. Vincent even ended up DNFing on his third run. It's that hard right turn that got us both a few times. At fourth run, which was my first solo run, the pressure was on. I had a few choice words as I struggled to get a better time out of the car.
But I got a cone or two. That sucks. It's a 56.
Dude, man. I don't know if you have a clean one yet.
I don't.
Well, set the magic one on this one.
Yeah, no distractions. No extra weight.
Yep. Hey, you're carrying a lot of extra weight, dude. I admit.
On my fifth run, I was really pushing the car too hard, resulting in time-robbing slides and fast hands that slowed me down as well. Well, my last run was not clean. That means none of my runs were clean today. Last time I was out, I didn't hit any cones. That was amazing, but today it was a pretty big mess, so I don't have a chance against Vincent in my own car today, unfortunately. But we'll see how he does in the next one. Maybe he'll at least place well in the class, just to prove a little V Sport power.
What do you got to say?
I messed up an element and I would have easily had another half second if I didn't screw
Half
that
a second?
Oh yeah.
What was the time again?
55.5.
Wow.
Or 55.4.
All right, let's see how the times stack up on the V Sport. My best run was my second run with a 56.324 with one cone. Vincent's best run was on his fifth run, 55.402 plus 2 cones. He had me by almost a second. Now, generally, a cone would cost you a second or two depending on the rules in Autocross, but today we're just comparing the raw times. Vince ended up placing 4th in class behind 2 1LE Camaros and a GT350 Mustang. I placed 6th behind another Camaro. If we were running in stock class, we would have had the fastest time out of the other 3 F-Street cars by at least a second. After the morning runs, we refueled with some awesome street tacos.
Taco time.
Then afterward, it was back to the course to do the runs in the Miata. Vincent will start first, of course, in his car.
CTS V Sport Miata. That's a creative name. He thought of that.
Somebody must have entered it in wrong in the system.
Miata again for run number 2, so Dave's hot.
Yeah, flat out, so many places.
Oh yeah, flat out, dude.
And then it was my turn on the Miata. This was my first time in a small car like this on the Autocross course, and I've only driven this car a couple times on the street.
Did you want to turn traction control off? The one on the way on the left, I think. Yep, there you go.
It's just like, man, there's parts where I was like, he's not letting off the gas. Why is he not letting off the gas? But then you just keep going through without a problem.
Yeah, so like I said, this car has definitely more grip than the V Sport, without a doubt. But the power, it just needs. That's why you just gotta stay in it, flat out.
Even off the line, yeah. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's noticeable there.
Oh yeah.
That's why I keep saying, damn, if this car had 100 more horsepower, whew, this would be the best car ever, man.
Okay. Sorry, Vince.
It was in this moment that he knew he shouldn't have let Daniel drive his car.
How did that break off so easy?
You gotta be gentler with your inputs.
Okay.
I certainly learned my lesson that the Miata steering is a lot faster than the V Sports, and for the remainder of the course, Vincent gave me plenty of driving tips.
Okay. Yeah. What?
You're overshooting that section.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what kind of scuff marks we got here.
Jesus. I hope to polish them out. Nowhere to hang on in this car. Can I hold on to this?
I would not recommend that. Not unless you want to have another fun rotation.
Whoa. Improved by a 10th. Alright, we're about to do a second run of the Miata, and hopefully I don't spin out this time. Now I'm a little wary of it, but I'll try my best. Vincent drives it really well. Alright, smooth. No clutching.
The rest of the runs lacked all the excitement of the very first run as I learned to get a grip on the car. I did end up DNFing on my second run at that one hard right corner.
Well, it's better, but...
Well, you're pretty close to your morning time. Yeah, the main thing I would focus on is just trying to be tighter on the line. And definitely, like I said, initiate that turn in a little bit sooner. You were really understeering quite a few sections there. So just try and dial it back just a little bit. When there's that much talk going on in the front, you're losing time.
Yeah,
so.
Okay. Way wide.
All right, Vincent, how did you find another second?
I got rid of dead weight.
Oh, I guess that's true. He's talking about me. Nice job. And it was clean.
Time for my solo run in the Miata. I was looking forward to the better times, but there's definitely a little change in the weight distribution, and I certainly showed it by taking out a few cones.
Vince 54, 264, 54, 264 for Vince.
While Vincent can show he works well under pressure, getting a solid, clean run on his fifth run, I definitely have a different story. I'm pressured and cone after cone, and it's a dirty run for me, no help.
Still dirty out there. Daniel finishes with a 57.6.
What a dirty, dirty boy I am.
All right, let's have a look at the Miata results for the afternoon. I, of course, had a hard time learning to drive Vince's car, and my best time was my 4th run with a 55.627 plus 2 cones. Vincent also had his best time on his 4th run with a 53.881, and it was nice and clean. There weren't any other cars in C Street class that day, but if he were to compete in the class above with modified Miatas, he actually would have done really well. And now it's time for the final results. Let's look at the fastest times of the day for both cars. The V Sport, set by Vince, ran a 55.402. Vince also set the fastest Miata time at 53.881. This put the Miata a 1.5 seconds faster with Vince driving. With me driving, my fastest time in the V Sport was 56.324, and in the Miata 55.627, which means I drove the Miata almost 0.7 seconds faster than I could drive the V Sport. Now, if you take the average of our two fastest times in each car, we get a V Sport time of 55.863 and the Miata two-driver average of 54.754. This puts the Miata 1.1 seconds faster than the V Sport. But don't forget, I'm not great at driving the Miata yet, and I'm sure my times really hurt the average, so this number could have easily been 1.5 to 2 seconds.
Well, that's it. I think it was a pretty fun comparison, and I hope you have a little more respect for a Miata now. I mean, it really is a great driver's car, and it's awesome on the autocross course. I know it doesn't have a ton of horsepower, but on the autocross course, it's still a ton of fun. Now, I hope this video got you a little more excited about autocross, and if so, you can visit the Sports Car Club of America's website, link in the description below, and there you'll find more information about autocross as well as how to connect with your local chapter. Autocross is great because it's way cheaper and easier to get started on than track days, and there's always somebody there to help a new person get started. Now, before I go, I'm gonna leave you with one more clip. It's a split screen of Vincent running one of his faster times in the Miata against himself running one of his faster times in the V Sport. You can comment below and tell me where you think the Miata picked up the few extra tenths. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on the Jet Fuel Only channel.
Now, the V Sport arrived at the start timing line before the Miata, so let's synchronize the cars and go from here. Alright, we're about halfway through the course, and you can see on the lower screen, this is what the Miata would look like if it was actually racing the V Sport. Let's bring the V Sport up to match and see how they go for the rest of the course. And as the Miata passes the finish line, this is what the V Sport would see. And remember, this includes letting the V Sport catch up at half course.